Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. And even though iPhone 15 and 15 Pro already came out, and on September we're having the release of the iPhone 16 models, you might probably be doubting if you buy the iPhone 15 right now, if you wait for the iPhone 16, or if your best option is an iPhone 14, which is this one right here. First, I'm going to give you some specs of this phone, and then I'm going to tell you my observations or my point of view if it is worth or not buying it in the third quarter of 2024. First, let's go with the release date. This phone was released in September 2022. First of all, we already know Apple does very good with their updates. Well, that's a good thing about iPhones. They age pretty well. I'm not an Apple fan, but I know that between Android and Apple devices are the ones that age the best among all. It's a 172-gram phone, which means it's not heavy. You have a glass front and a glass back, which comes in an aluminum frame. You can see it right there. Phone admits the MagSafe charging, which has like a small magnet, so you have an OLED screen that can go from 800 nits all the way to 1,200 nits whenever we're out. Talking about the screen, it's not the best screen because we still have a 60 hertz screen on these phones, but the same as the iPhone 15, the regular ones, we still have a 60 hertz screen. Apple, please just include a 120 hertz screen on all your devices. I have a 6.1 ceramic shield screen. If you were talking about a phone about 5 years ago, it would be a huge screen, but talking about a phone nowadays, you can say, well, now we can say it's a pretty small phone. Now let's see what's inside of this phone. Well, we have a A15 Bionic chipset, which means we are going to have quite a lot of years of updates. We have a 3,279 milliampere battery with a wireless charging up to 15 watts. I mean, it's not the best outside. The camera. The main camera is a 12 megapixel. Extra camera is also a 12 megapixel. We can record videos up to 4K and 60 FPS. Or if you want a less resolution, we can record videos that go from 1080p all the way to 240 FPS. We also have this cinematic mode, which is like the best of the best recording that iPhone has. Take into account that this isn't the Pro model. It is the normal version that can record up to 4K and 30 FPS. Selfie camera, we have a 12 megapixel lens that can go all the way up to a wide, just in case you want to fit more people in your selfies. As you can see, I'm about to try out the camera. It is not a sunny day at all. It was actually raining a while ago. Well, in the photo mode, you see stabilization isn't that good, but we're not recording. Now we go to the video and HD 30. Now we're going to change to 4K 30 and you can see a clear upgrade. Now let's go to 4K 60 and, well, the magic occurs. After that, I'm just going to let you know the other modes we have on this phone, which is the cinematic one. We can clearly see how changing between cinematic lenses changes everything. I mean, we got a very, very good camera. One of the best cameras actually. Slow-mo, well, we actually all know what slow-mo is. What about time-lapse? We don't use it that often, but it's always good to have an extra mode. Let's go all the way back to the photo, and you can see we have an ultra-wide lens that takes a lot of the image. We have this live mode that is, remember when you press it too much. What about the portrait mode? Portrait mode is actually very cool because now we can change between different type of portraits, from stage light to high key light mono, actually all the way to some other portrait modes, going back to the panoramic mode, which is awesome when you want to take very good shots. Big question is if it is worth or not buying the iPhone 14. Well, I'm going to give you some pros and I'm going to give you some cons of buying it right now. The first good thing about it is that it is kind of a cheap iPhone to buy right now. On the official Apple page, it is around $699. You can actually find it on Amazon, refurbished or new, for around $480. If you're not like such a geek guy and you don't have any problem with having a notch, you're good with this one. But if you want the dynamic island, well, it comes with iPhone 15, the iPhone 14 Pro model. iPhone 16 is coming out in a couple of months, like in about 2 months. I would rather wait for the iPhone 16 to come out. And if you don't want to spend all the money that an iPhone 16 is going to cost, you can just buy a refurbished iPhone 15 on Amazon, which is going to be around the same price as this one is right now. If you want to start with your first iPhone, I would truly recommend this as your first iPhone because it has some cool features, some of the newest features, but without spending the $700, $800 that a new iPhone costs. And you're going to make sure you have about 4 to 6 years of updates. If you only want a $500 range phone, well, if you want to go outside Apple, you can actually find some really good deals. For example, a Samsung Galaxy S24, a Motorola Edge 50 Fusion, which is around the same price. Is it a yes or is it a no for this phone? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. I would truly recommend this phone and still compete with some high-priced phones, and it is going to be good for a couple of years. So this phone is a yes. Remember to give me a like and subscribe so I can keep bringing you more content. Thank you and have a good one.